I'm chapter president of Central Michigan University's chapter. We have a really informal support group. It's never like sitting down and being like, okay, today we're gonna talk about this or this. We usually start out with food. We're big believers in starting meetings with food at Central. And sometimes we don't even talk about support group things, but sometimes it's like, hey, my mom loved this board game, or like, you know, in Monopoly, my mom was always the race car. Just little things like that spark little conversations, and it doesn't always lead to a bigger conversation, but when it does, it almost feels more real and more meaningful than, you know, we're gonna force you to talk about this today. It's very organic, it comes on its own terms. 3 days after Christmas, I got the phone call that my best friend committed suicide. And, you know, nothing's really ever the same after you get that news. So I decided to go back to school a couple weeks early from our Christmas break. And the first day of spring semester, my freshman year, I got the news that my mother was diagnosed with stage 3 brain cancer. A year and a half after that, she passed away the day before her birthday. And, you know, I always get like, you look just like your mom. So it's kind of this motivation. Every morning I look in the mirror and part of it's my mom looking back at me. It's not just me. She was just the most giving, caring person you could ever imagine. And I had ran across the AMF website and I didn't make it past the homepage before I rushed into my next door neighbor's room, tore him out of bed, you know, still in his boxers, half asleep. I'm not sure he really knew what was going on, but I was like, we're doing this, laptop in hand. And he was just kind of like, all right, what is this? I was feeling really alone, and just to see that other people were going through this and just knowing that I could do something and I could be involved in something and I could help somebody. We have both a service and a support group. Our service group has done 2 awesome service events so far. We've done the DKMS, Give a Spit About Cancer, Bone Marrow Donor Drive, and once we found a date, found a place to do it, we teamed up with another group on our campus called Stay Strong Kyle, and they've run bone marrow donor drives in the past for a friend of theirs who recently passed away. And we found a location, we put up flyers, chalked around campus, and even though it was a rainy day, we still got around 150 people to come get swabbed. We've gotten 6 matches, which is huge. And when you think about the impact that grief has on any one family, and then you multiply it by 6, I mean, you almost can't put a feeling with it. It's just overwhelming. The Bone Marrow Donor Drive definitely hit home because we did recently lose a student to leukemia. So it definitely had it hit home. And just doing service events and knowing you're out there doing something good, it really helps. I think a lot of people underestimate how therapeutic it really is to get out there and know you're doing something good and putting all that energy somewhere good. And, you know, what you put out there, you get back. So when I think about how much good we've done on our campus, it makes me think about all the other campuses that don't have this. And I remember how alone I felt when I didn't have anybody there, and that excitement when I found AMF and found that there's this whole network of people just so dedicated and so willing to help you in your time of need. And I just want to spread it everywhere. After I found out about AMF, I told just about anyone who would stand still long enough to hear about it.